Welcome to the stream. Wrong ever made a request. I put it up there at the top. And yeah, VFL. Fall for life. Anyway, yeah, it is now football time in Tennessee, as they say. Anyway, we have a picture of the stadium right there. For all my life, we've called it Neyland Stadium. All my life. And then I don't know, maybe the last year, there's been some crazy push to call it Neyland Stadium with two E's instead of Neyland, N-E-Y, Neyland. I don't know. Kimberly tell you it's crazy. Crazy talk. And she's like, it's Neyland Stadium. It's Neyland Drive. Everybody says it Neyland Drive. I don't know where this Neyland crap came from. Anyway. Welcome everybody. We've got CPI, we got PPI coming up this week. I guess we have a presidential debate through whatever you want to call it. I think it'll just be smearing each other. I don't know that it's going to be debating. What's there to debate? I mean, it just I don't know. Whatever. I don't think it matters. I don't think whoever wins matters. For what we do. Now, it very well could matter in the long run, but I don't know that it necessarily matters who wins as far as what we do. Now, I do know some traders that are very adamant. If one wins, we're going to have a big market crash, and if another wins, we're going to have a big market pop. Honestly, I think we could have a crash in either scenario. I don't know that it matters. I don't know. I think the writing's already on the wall. I think we already are far enough down the problem that it's not going to matter what happens. So, anyway, I don't think it matters. I think we're in for a hurting regardless of who wins the White House. All trading involves a substantial risk of lost past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. Hopefully you get entertained. Otherwise, you got other things you could do, I guess. Thank you for spending time with me. This is not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, which includes stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. And if you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. I think we've already dug the hole, and we're gonna lay in it. So, how else are we gonna fix the problems we've got? Hyperinflation's inflate away the debt's the only solution. That's the only real solution. You can say, the writing's on the wall. They're going to eventually institute unrealized capital gains. I mean, once it's an idea, it's just a matter of time before it happens. Whether it happens now, happens later, it's going to happen. They've got it in their mind that that's a solution. It's probably going to be a problem. Anyway. And Tennessee is the real UT according to the SEC. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah. They call it UTEP and UT. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And so, anyway, glad to have everybody. I'm just repeating what Ray said in the chat. And Kimberly, come get me with a pitchfork. Anyway, welcome everybody. And there's the disclaimer, just in case you came in late. And guess what? CPI coming out tomorrow morning. Dun, 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 dun. So, what do you think? Do we have inflation? Do we not have inflation? There we go, right here, 8:30 tomorrow morning. I think this matters more than the debate, right here. 9/11. Never forget those who perished 23 years ago. And so here we go. Month over month, I'm betting on 0.2. I don't know if for some reason we spike up to 0.3, what's the knee-jerk reaction? I don't know. That's I think 0.2, like look how stable 0.2 is like the standard back here. Look at that 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. 0.2 is the resting heartbeat of CPI. We've had some little bit of chaos in here, but 0.2 is the resting heartbeat of CPI. Tend to get little spikes to 0.3, and so hopefully we're back to just chilling over here, just being okay. And then year over year, this is where we've seen the mountain. Now we're back down to around 3. We go back and look. It does ebb and flow. All right, we ebb and flow constantly in CPI. Tend to get a little spicy, then we get a little dip, and then we get a little really spicy lately. We had some inflation bounce back here. I mean, the government keeps printing money. We've still got, and if you go back and do this the way it's like 1985 way, this thing is still sitting at like 11% right now. 3% is a farce. We killed inflation. That's a completely made up fairy tale of manipulated numbers. Sitting more like 10, 11%. And I don't know about you, everything I spend money on keeps going up, and they keep projecting to go up. And, every time I buy something, it's like, oh, that's more expensive than it used to be. And, yeah, I think if we get a surprise, a surprise pop, we're going to have a market reaction. Year over year number, I think if we get anything 3 or higher, it's going to be a knee jerk reaction in the market probably. If it comes in low, 2.5, I think the market goes a little bit crazy, thinking we'll get a 0.5 point cut next week. The forecast is 2.5. I suspect we might get 2.5. If we come at 2.4, the market could go absolute nuts. Absolute nuts. So 2.5 is the forecast right there. We'll see what the actual forecast is in the morning. I expect core and regular CPI 0.2. We've been at 0.2. You do the math on 0.2. Well, 0.2 times all the year comes in at 2.4. So 2.5 be right in there. And we'll see. Then we have PPI on Thursday at 8:30. This can move the market, but lately just doesn't really. And we don't have the year over year on here. I wish they did. They don't. We look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. It typically kind of long term 0.1, 0.2, 0.1, 0.2, 0.1, 0.2. That's just kind of the standard. Now, when we see a spike come in PPI like that, we expected a 0.2 and we got a 1.3 or 1.2 right there back. What's that? Back here in 21. That was indicating inflation was about to ramp up in a big way. And it did. Usually we get a spike in here if it just absolutely surprises. In here, that usually leads 3 to 6 months ahead of CPI, showing the same kind of pop. So anyway, that's the way that works. I think they're all made up and manipulated these days, but we'll see what happens. Thursday, 8:30 in the morning. Those come in light. Hey, they're going to declare CPI done, inflation done for now, and do their victory lap and maybe cut by 0.5 point next week. So next week we do have FOMC coming up on Wednesday, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is the announcement right there, the statement, and then Jerome Powell cannot resist speaking. He used to every Fed president before him, they would speak at one event. Nothing is the next event. Speak at one event, nothing in the next event. Jerome Powell always has to speak. Always, 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 always. So he does his press conference every single time. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's the upcoming week for you. So be careful in the morning. Hopefully you protected yourself before the close. I bought a little protective position that I talked about this morning. So S&P 500. Well, let's jump over the red list here. The red list. S&P enjoyed its second day in a row inside. This is indecision at its finest right here. Indecision. If you don't know what I'm talking about, inside day. Here's Friday, right? There was the high. Here was the low. This candle yesterday, inside that range. This candle today, inside that range. That's 2 inside days in a row. We can get a third. I mean, but if we get a third, it's likely to come back down in here. Do we pop? Do we drop? Below 5,300 is a big warning, like red warning lights come on for me. That probably indicating that we're gonna go down at least to the roadmap line. Back down, second visit. We've done that on NQ and Russell. We've basically touched the roadmap line on the daily. Coming up shy on S&P. But if we get down there, this opens the door in a big way for this. And what is that? That, if you haven't been here, haven't listened to me, don't come to the morning show. That right there is the weekly roadmap line. If you don't know what the roadmap line is, that's cool. Link is in the description down below. $5, you can get it on your chart. Or you can click on my channel homepage and go watch the video that's like my favorite indicator with some arrows to this orange line zipping by my head, and check it out. All right, that you can get that DIY. You don't have to spend $5. You can go get the code and do it yourself. But if you don't want to do it yourself, if it's too difficult to do it yourself, $5. Click the easy button, get it on your chart, and there you go. And Charles Payne was all over my 2-year versus the Fed graph. Yeah, imagine that. Somebody's like, oh, this guy actually might know something. I'm not the only one that talks about it. I've seen a few other people talk about that. But yeah, DGS2 versus the, right here, DGS2. Every time, in my trading history, every time we've crossed these two, it's been a problem. Like right here. Every time I started trading in the late 90s. Back here, just off the screen here. And when it crossed right there, problem. We had a little rockiness right here too. And then we crossed right there in a big way to the bottom. Then we came back up, crossed again, problem. Financial crisis. All right, that was .com bust. That was great financial crisis. We rocked along 0 interest rate for a long time. They eased up the rates, rate freak out, first little flash, and everything was okay. And then COVID, right back to the bottom. And then hyperinflation. Oh my gosh, we got to raise rates really fast. I think they maybe overdid the rate raises. Now, here's the crux of the issue. If inflation flashes back, do we have to raise rates? Question mark. Question mark over here. Now, they could cut rates, cause a freak out. Now, this is kind of my working scenario here is that they blow out the carry trade. Japan can no longer buy the debt because it doesn't make sense to borrow yen and then borrow dollars, or finance dollars, whatever, finance debt in the United States. It doesn't make sense to borrow any other currency and finance debt if the interest rate doesn't support the debt. So what if we're in a problem? What if we've already tipped the scales to the point where we can't fix it? Cutting rates creates this giant problem where nobody buys our debt. The orange is the Fed funds rate. What if cutting the rate creates this issue? Right? What if they cut the rate 0.5 point? All of a sudden, there's no market for Fed debt. Nobody can buy it. Nobody wants to buy it. Uh-oh. Got to raise rates to be able to finance debt. Uh-oh. That creates inflation. Uh-oh. What if that happens when the market goes? Ah, this could be a big problem. This could be a big problem. So I would watch out. I think there's problems when we start cutting. And we're in a huge problem. And I think we're maybe, if we're not past it, we're very close to getting past the point of where this can't just easily be fixed right here. Very close to the problem. And we cut the rates. Nobody buys the debt. You know, I don't know. I don't see how you can. If you've already spent the money, how do you forgive the debt? I mean, it's like, forgive the debt of citizens, but it just comes back around. Even if we forgive debt for people, it just comes back around to. It's not really forgiven. It's just you're going to pay for it one way or another. One way or another, it's taking it from one person being responsible to more people being responsible, and I think ultimately everybody's responsible for the debt anyway. Even if you die and don't pay your college debt, taxpayers are still on the hook for it. You still spend it. Doesn't matter. I mean, eventually we're all paying for it anyway. So the market rate already starting to dip below that low we made back here early in 23. So it'd be interesting to see, does this continue down? Or do we get a bounce and rock back up? And if it crosses back above if they cut and then the market rate, the DGS2, the 2-year constant maturity rate, crosses back above the Fed funds rate, watch out. Watch out. Things could get spicy really quickly. And my lines are so stupid. Crosshair. That's not what I wanted. Why are my lines all goofy on this chart? What happened? What even happened? Grid lines. I don't even know what happened in this chart. Anyway. All right. Back to S&P. I'll hit a few more and then we'll take your requests. So ES, like I said, came up shy of hitting the roadmap line, while NQ held a measured bounce. This could be really bullish. This is the opportunity to save the market here. This could be really, really, really bullish, and we could rocket higher right into the election. Could happen before, could happen into the election. Russell, potential, the same exact pattern, a bounce. Oil, finally doing the flush out. This could be the bottom. Like this, we're still in that target zone. Now, it just looks a little better on the logarithmic chart, or the non-log chart. I guess non-log chart right there. Now, we could dip a little lower, and if we do get down that low, we're making a lower low. Maybe that takes us all the way down to extreme levels. I don't know, 48 possible. Entirely possible to go down to 48. So we'll see. Anything below this low back here in May of last year can wrap this whole thing up, and we can oil can turn and burn very quickly. Now, right now, the Chinese stock market and oil are pretty much flying parallel. It's not always the case. Let's see if I can pull it up properly. Here the last little bit though, they've been kind of flying together. Trying to remember where they started the chart line up here. I think it was right in there or something. Oil was outperforming. Now oil in the Chinese stock market pretty much doing the same thing here. They decoupled. So correlated when they're correlated, not when they're not. And we'll see. FXI is not necessarily just the Chinese stock market, but just threw that on there as a comparison. We'll see. Brent also getting a flush. This is interesting here that Brent already made the lower low. This is European oil. The rest of the world doesn't really care about light sweet crude in West Texas Intermediate. But Brent making a lower low. That's interesting, if you ask me. And gasoline made a lower low. Broke down. Lower low. These things can all flip on a dime here. Heating oil. And Laura, remember what I said about oil. Like, we're on the path, going lower. Heating oil. Look at that break. That can come right down to this $2 area right here. Breaking down. Right here's the next target. Right down in here. $1.70 below that. That's just crazy. Like that you may be like, why heating oil? That's diesel fuel, basically. Diesel fuel right there. Natural gas. Ooh, so close to a breakout. Then the narrative around natural gas is interesting. Russia is now the biggest supplier for Europe, and yeah, so much for sanctions, right? And then we're gonna have to build more natural gas plants. So are they pushing it down on the timeline, or is it going to dip and rip? If this goes ripping in the next couple of weeks, if it blows up in their face, what happens? It's interesting. I'm keeping an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. This could blow up in everybody's face right here. Anyway, I think, as I've said, the incumbent wins if we take oil down here. And she upgrades in office, obviously. And if we pop it, maybe the challenger wins. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, GC, gold, just sitting in the box still. Nothing. The most frustrating thing to do is sit on my hands, wait for that to work its way out. Silver is still just barely up off the roadmap line. This is the same pattern that is present on Nasdaq, Russell. And I want to see this go ripping off. This is way lagging behind. If this was up with gold, we'd be up here consolidating, but we're down here. A giant opportunity for this to outperform to the upside. Possibly 35, possibly even 40. And it could happen very quickly. Very quickly. Now, interesting in some people are like, why isn't gold a hedge? Why did gold and silver drop out in August, kind of when everything else dropped? So initially, as gold tends to be very liquid, gold and silver will follow the market in a crash. But then as things develop further, they'll start acting as a hedge. And that's why gold is sitting up in the all-time high range, while the S&P has dropped and is sitting kind of in the middle here. Not consolidating up here, it's consolidating down here. If we decline further, we may see gold climb higher. So that's interesting. I feel like it's interesting dynamic that plays out where initially we follow the market down, but then they diverge pathways. Correlated when they're correlated, not when they're not. Remember, it's the mantra. Copper. Dr. Copper is looking pretty sad here. This is indicative that we may have further to go. Now, I would love to see this drop right down here, flush this out, get done, make a bottom, and let's get out of here. I'd love that. I'd love to see that, and we not have a big crash correction thing. I don't see it as the likely path. I just don't. Lumber. Still, I should just quit looking at lumber. Anyway, BTC USD. Got the 3 green days in a row. We're on the 4th for Bitcoin. Can we get continuation 4th for Ethereum? 4 green days in a row. Are we going to get the continuation? That's the thing. Can we get the continuation? Historically, when we see 3 green days in a row on both Bitcoin and Ethereum together, this is my thing, not something I read anywhere. This is just a pattern I recognized. We typically get 1 to 3 weeks of continuation higher, which average that out 2 weeks. 2 weeks on average of continuation higher before we do some other correction. Now, last time we got that was back over here, and we popped it up into here, and then hit resistance on Ethereum. And for Bitcoin, we got that 3 days of green. We came up here and ran out of steam, and then went lower low. So that doesn't necessarily mean we're going higher in the big picture. It just means, for the next week to 3 weeks, we'll probably go higher from where we are. So, and give it a minute. We'll do requests in just a minute. So that's crypto for you. And the rules for requests, I need all capitals. And if you have a bias, long, short, whatever it is, if you're looking at something specific, you please use full sentences. Don't get upset at me that, hey, I skipped your ticker, or, didn't evaluate it correctly. Use full sentences. Tell me which ticker it was. Don't say, I just skipped your ticker, and don't tell me. Say, now, if you request more than one ticker at a time, I'm going to skip you. If you don't, so 1 ticker per person per request, and then you've got to wait for preferably 1 person, and even more preferably 2 people to go before you request again, to give other people a fair shake at it. And if you sit there and I notice that you're waiting until somebody else requests, and then you make another request, and wait for somebody to make a request, you make another request, I may skip your requests. So giving everybody a fair shot at making requests. If you request a Forex, give me the full pair. If you request a crypto, give me the full pair. If you request futures, give me the future ticker that I can look up in TradingView. That typically is like ES1 exclamation point, so I can pull it up and look at it for you. All right. And palladium, look at that. Look at platinum and palladium, just so beat down. Oh my goodness. All right. Rongamer had a request. He sent me a message before, and he said, hey, can you look at Crocs? So here we go. Here's Crocs. That high, that low. We turned down at the 618. This is not, as Svenborn loves me to say, this is no bueno right here. And remember, if you appreciate anything I say here today, give me a thumbs up and consider being a channel member. It does support me even more outside of the FitMC universe. It does support me, and I post content for extra content for channel members. If you want to see behind the scenes and get some extra juice on the markets, we'll have live streams coming up soon, starting for members only live streams. So this right here, when we go low to high, we're at the 618 this way. So we're in a little bit of a danger zone here. We get below this, right there, right down in here would be my expectation. There's support. Here's the resistance right here. We get above that. If we bounce here, we get some spiciness, pops up above there. Up there's the target on the upside. So this is a key support zone we're in right now. We turn down right there. Turn down right here, which led us to this. This is a key support. If we can pop it, going up, target 173. If we break down below here, target is down here, 105 to 109. And it could extend very easily down to 95. Alrighty, that's Crocs for you. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun. And let's see. I'm not a big sports ball fan, so you talk to me about sports, I've got no idea. No clue. It's about the only sport I watch is American Ninja Warrior once a year during the summer on NBC. Watch that kid win back-to-back climbing Mount Midoriyama back-to-back. Kid won last night. Has got cerebral palsy. However you say it. Blah, blah, blah. Mora potentially bouncing. There's the resistance right there. Break above it. We're going up. Target's right up there. Nothing changed from last week. Nope. Moving the wrong thing. Marginal lower low doesn't move the target. Right there. The confirmation is when we break above this high right there, that we're probably going up here. That's more for you. ED. It's at the target. Watch for a pullback. Could it go higher? Could. Might. 111, 114 would be the upside, but down here is the support, back down at 95. And AVGO still. So here's the resistance right there. Here's the support down here. Long. And if it breaks above that, we can go right up here at 193. We return to. Right now, this sure does look like we're going to go down here, but there's the resistance. We break through it. Upside is up here. That's how it works. All right, GNRC. Generac, sitting on the roadmap line. Rejected. This might go down even further. If the market breaks down tomorrow, all these things are probably going to head on down to the extension on the downside. SLV. I already went through silver, so this is just silver right here with the potential to break higher. Just sitting on this is the same pattern as the Nasdaq and the Russell have. Touched the roadmap line, measured bounce, both combined together by their powers combined. This could take it right up to the target area, right up here. 30, possibly 32, possibly even crazier after that. Let's stay conservative on the crazy targets. So 30 to 32 right there. That's SLV. Solana is under the roadmap line and may go lower. Under the roadmap line, and that looks a lot like the Tesla chart, except we're hanging out down here instead of up here. Ugh. That breaks the lows. Watch out below. Down right there. That high, that low, that high. We could see Solana going right down here. If we get below those lows. Right there. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So watch out for that to break down for Solana. Tony to the long side. Right there you go. We failed to touch the 99 target. Retrace back to the 618, holding still 99 upside target. But we do have that downtrend that downtrend high so far. We kind of held it here. Maybe push that up just a smidge. So far, we got that, that high, this lower high, this still lower high than this. It's a resistance zone we got to get through to get to that 99 to 100 area right there. If we can really get a big way, we could go up to 120, but one thing at a time. We got to start making higher highs than we've had, which is breaking 102. Got to break through 102. Significant resistance right there. All right. Uber. Second attempt. Turn it back down. Support right here at the roadmap line. If we break below it, Probably going lower. Probably make a lower low than we made right back here just a couple weeks ago. So it's an important point to watch right there. If we get below this, we may tap on down 49, possibly even 45. It's a significant resistance right there. Watch that zone. Right there. If we get through it, 86 on the upside for Uber. AX puts. Axios Financial. I wouldn't count on a giant down. Doesn't look supremely bearish. I mean, you may think fundamental reasons, but let's see what we got. That high, that low, that high. Didn't touch the upside, so I would be cautious betting too much against this. If it had actually touched right there and then turned down, we have support coming up right in here, and that can go right up there. Oopta, oopta, oopta. Going right back down to the bottom. And extension down to 60. And Starbucks. I'm still long my calls, looking for a breakout above this zone. I'm long-term long Starbucks. Out to January 26th. Looking for that pop. Looking for 150. 140, 150. That's what I think on that one. J Frog did not pull anything up. That ticker didn't work. I don't know what you were asking for. AVE, USD. Trying to break higher. Next resistance up would be right up here. Into that zone. It's got a long way to go if we're going to make a new high. A long way. It's got a lot of work to do. I don't know that I can do it. I don't know. Just got to get above that zone. On a log scale. Could go to 1,000, but I don't know. I don't know if it's got it. Anyway. All right. 222 AA. Getting below the uptrend of lows. Watch out for the flush down to 20 on Alcoa arm. Still sitting on the roadmap line. Not really indicating we're doing anything here. Could it go higher? Yeah, it could. Could. Here's what we've done. We moved up, retraced, just holding. So here's the upside resistance. Here's the downside support in the vicinity. And if we break that, we're probably going to take back the big gap from all the way back over here. Now, it could go higher before we break down. If we get above this 148 area, take it on up back up to 210, possibly 230. If we break down below this 105-ish area right here, probably going to cruise back down to 75. And SVXY has no real chartability. Bounce down off the roadmap line. Sitting above the 50. So there's your support. If we flush tomorrow in the market, this will probably go down. If we pop in the market, this will probably pop up, getting above the roadmap line. Right now, this is the resistance. We got above that. Then we have the resistance a little higher up. 618 on higher. Oh, never mind. That is the 618. Duh. That is it right there. That's the zone. So 45 days from the bottom. Typically how long it takes. 45 bars. Puts us out here to October. do kind of expect it to get close to the prior high sometime by October. Sometime by October. Big price bubbles kind of in the way there. So we've got support down here, kind of touched in it. Now that can be a measured bounce. That can lead to a outsized move up very quickly and easily. An outsized pop takes us right to the top up here. Right up to these targets right in there. That'd be a pretty wild ride, wouldn't it? I am long at 53 and 58. I hate to see it run out of time, but I may run out of time this Friday. See what happens. See what happens. I mean, next Friday. Excuse me. Next Friday, the 20th. Next Friday. Alrighty. That's SVXY. Nothing. No chart pattern that really tells me where we're going, but that's kind of the expectation. Time-wise, if you've never seen this before, it's historically around, you know, some of these take a little longer than 45 days, but right around 45 days on average to recover, 30 to 45 days. After a 15% dip, 15 to 20% dip, typically takes about 30 to 45 bars to recover. Now, some of these are longer. You see a few in here, like 50 bars. There's one in here that was 78 bars right there, 63. So averages can take longer than the average, but in general, 45 bars later, right back up. 45 bars puts us right out here, October 8th. We'll see what happens. And it could be because this depth was bigger than normal, could take longer, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, FL. Ooh, nasty pullback. Ugh, man, that's a bummer. Which reminds me of the Bud chart at this point. Now, it came down to the 618. If we can hold in this vicinity, right there, you may be like, that's too many lines, JT. I can't tell what you're doing. Right here it is. This move up. This low, this high, 2-point tool. Hold support here, turn higher, break above this, rock and roll. Rock and roll. This was a 618 retrace. This is a 618 retrace. Rock and roll. Target still way up here, but I am not in this trade. Just saying, I'm not in it. Don't plan to be in it. The way this is overlappy doesn't speak to me that this is what I want to be involved in right now. So, GOGL. It's like my daily chart. Bot is done picking. Google may be on the way down to that area right there, if not even further down, 128. Right there. That's what we got cooking. Didn't even do a 618 bounce. Just keeps pushing lower. So right down there, that 136, 128, 136 area right there would be what I expect. All right. And ALL. Which cool shirt? This shirt's just an R mark, or I guess it's Vestivus now. Vestivus? Verstivus? I don't know how you say it. Used to be R mark. All state popped up. Let's see. Just clear the chart. That retrace doesn't look like it actually touched, but right up in the resistance, 192, maybe as high as 209. But there you go. SWBI hasn't changed anything. Still long. I don't really care about the retrace. Maybe like, oh no, gun violence and sell off, and doesn't really matter. I've been long since 10. We are broken down just a little bit more than I Would love to see, but that also looks like 5 up, and we could be working on a 618 retrace, which can go a little deeper. This is like long-term, like 10-year hold type situation for me, because the potential is so big. Such a big potential. This move up took a little over, right around 2 years. So this move over here can take like 6 years, 8 years, maybe even for the next move up and then the retrace. And then the final move can take another 2 to 5 years. So, like I said, this could be 10, 12, 15-year hold, maybe, to get up to the crazy levels. And, you know, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm in at 10 with shares. There's the support right around 11. See if it goes. PDD. Still, bottom. We held. So far, we've held for a week. Can we hold it? Or do we start dropping on down? 75 on down. Resistance up here. At 128, 126. Right there. PD for you. And I just skipped the chat. Awesome. I love when I do that. It jumped all the way to the bottom. There we go. HD. Home repair. Resistance right there. If we can break through it. 412. Don't bet against the U.S. consumer. KH. Wait. KHC. Kraft Heinz. Ketchup. Has been going nowhere. It left a gap down. Has not filled the gap down. I got nothing. I got nothing. That's no enthusiasm, no nothing. Just a bummer of a chart. I'm not even sure you can make money on that one. Maybe holding, but then I guess the dividend's probably lower than inflation right now, so you're just gonna get eaten alive by trying to hold that. And 4.4%. Inflation's higher than that. You're just gonna get eaten alive trying to hold that one. So be careful on KHC. It's gone nowhere since 2019. I mean, COVID was like a boop, and it's done nothing. Literally, even on the blast off after COVID, nothing, absolutely nothing. It's just that I wouldn't mess with it. AVAV bounced off the roadmap line. It did kick off the entry, retracing 235, the target on AVAV. MSTR is just sitting on the roadmap line. Bitcoin retraced more deeply. And we spiked down over here in August. Did the split. And Bitcoin's just being lackluster. This acts like leveraged Bitcoin, even though it's not. This could be the same pattern as the Nasdaq and the Russell, which would take us right up here. Look at that. See how all these fib lines are coming together? That can be a strong magnet for price if it can get continuation. If, that's a big if. We're going to have to break above this to get that. And I do hold 10 shares of an MSTR. I had 1 share pre-split that I bought, and I'm just sitting on it right now. Just sitting on those 10 shares. And Oxy has been lackluster, going lower. Oh, man. Finally broke lower. Look at the target. I think I might know what I'm doing here. Kind of expect 46. Sometimes I get lucky. Not that I love that people got long based on Warren Buffett and their suffering, but I've been warning that was going to break lower for, gosh, what, 2 years now? Finally. We might be able to find a low and actually bottom and get out of there. Coin is stuck at the bottom, at support right now, right in the target zone. Resistance up here at 200. Got to get it up through the roadmap line to go higher. And maybe you may be saying, well, duh, JT, I can read the chart. I'm just saying, got to get above the roadmap line to go higher. That's that was a perfect roadmap line extension from the downside. There could be one little final eke on the downside left, but this looks pretty played out. Now the upside, this high, this low, 618 sitting right there. So there is resistance right here. Get through it. I bet we go retest this high from back here. If we get through that, I bet we get some enthusiasm up here. I bet crypto's hopping and we go ripping up here. Maybe even make a new all-time high. That'd be pretty sweet because the big move here, this correction based on the chart I have, sets targets up here, 815, possibly 2000, or 835, excuse me, 835, 630 would be the, or 603. God, I can't read and speak in order. Now, non-log mode, that puts these targets right down here, 550, possibly 700. So keep it in mind. Don't know which way it's going to respect until it does it. All right, that's Coinbase for you. SLB. Broke lower. Watch out for the deeper retrace. This one could get ugly pretty quickly. And go right back down to 22. Right there. I wouldn't buy it. It's not a. I wouldn't try to catch that knife until it makes a bottom and tries to reverse. MCD. MCD, not MC. MCD. It's going for it. 311, 319, possibly 340 on the upside for MCD. IBM. Oh, right up to the target. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. Roadmap line balance. 210, 225 maybe. If, now here's the big if we can get the continuation on this weekly chart, 258. It may retrace before it does this. That'd be the target, possibly 350 above that. May get some more of these retraces on the way up there. How long would that take? Gosh. How long we've kind of been on this kind of trajectory like this. I could easily take out to April, May of next year. All right, DXCM, Dexcom. I typed that right, didn't I? Maybe I typed Dexcom. Anyway, right down to the support level. Couldn't see an extension down to 45 to 50 area right down here. I don't think we're done yet. Could have some further to go. That's what it looks like to me. And even on the daily chart, that's still the same. Looks like we're going to flush down just a little lower. And HAL, I'm sure you want Halliburton, not the whatever India. Why they default to India? I have no idea. No idea. Halliburton probably coming down to the bottom of the box right there. As oil goes down, all these things are getting sucked down with it. Urban, how low can she go? She can go on down to 0. They can all go to 0. Urban Outfitters. Looking for that. That's what the chart looks like it's going to do. Be careful. We can find support in this orange box, but that's my ideal target right there at the 618 retrace of this whole big move up. AMD. Still maintain my target on the downside, 85 to 105 area. Give him shy here. Still maintaining, still under the roadmap line, still. Now, if we break above this high and the downtrend that we've established between that high and this high, back above the 618, it tips the odds. We're going up to 250 area, but right now, still biased to the downside. We didn't correct deep enough for me to be bullish on AMD. Toyota Motors has done a 618 retrace at this point. Oh, today we almost perfectly hit it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That move up, that retrace. If we can break back above this gap down, back through the roadmap line, that is very, very positive for going higher. Possibly up into this 214, 227 area. Pop up there. Come back, retest the roadmap line. Then go up for the bigger move. Possibly like that. But we got to do it. Like if it gets below here, oof. Watch out for that. Possibly down there. All right, that's Toyota SMCI. Still same target that I've had to return back down here. This is the bubble pattern in the market. That's right here. We do this pattern, we come up this, consolidate here, break down, and we tend to return back down to the bottom right here. So on SMCI, it depends. Do we bottom right here? Was this the exponential? There's the consolidation, and we come back to here. Or did we start from down here? The consolidation, and we're due to correct back down to 100. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know. Here first, if we hold it, good. If we don't, watch out for that 100 area right there. Went way too high, way too far, way too fast, and unreasonably. The numbers just make absolutely no sense. It still make no sense. Maybe like, well, they're increasing their sales like drastically, but their valuation is just way crazy. I mean, price to sales of 3 for an industry that usually has a price to sales of 0.4. In the PC industry, you know, the computer, PCs and computers, usually around a 0.4, not 3. All right, that's just not 3. It's just not that's not the way the industry works. 0.4 is the historic kind of average. 0.4, 0.5. 3.3, just unlikely to hold it. It's not about price to earnings. It's about price to sales. PS, the PS ratio. That's what I'm looking at. Price to sales. It's ridiculous. Absolute ridiculous. Look at Dell. 0.3, 0.7 right now. Even that's probably lofty. 0.4 is typically what we hang out at. That's just the way it works. Then 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.5. That's what the computer industry hangs out at. So anyway, P to S is the only like kind of fundamental statistic I look at occasionally. Usually things that are over price to sales of 20. And you get a price to sales over 20. That's the danger zone. Something's, you got a problem cooking when price to sales is over 20. Yeah, they don't have a price to sales over 20, but I'm just telling you, it's a problem. It's a problem. Anyway, when you're way above your industry average, it just, for no good reason. BRK. Maybe you meant BRKB? Diesler? Because that's a crazy looking chart that I wouldn't think. Maybe it's BRK. No? Yeah, BRKB, maybe? That looks like it wants to pull back. Hit the extension of 1618. Probably going to come back. Look at that. Don't you wish you had a... Hey, give me a share or two of that. Gladly take it. Gladly take it. And, all right. NKE. Probably coming on down. We missed the target just a little bit. Do expect down just a little bit below 70 on NKE. Tesla is potentially breaking out there. As I discussed this morning, here's the first line of the sand. Got to clear that. Next line of the sand. Got to clear that. Probably going to 350 above there. And 500 above that. So 350. First target. That's where that target is, right over there. 350 and 500 above that. 500 has been the target I've held for a long time, since before the last split when I said 1500. And I'm not sure we can get much above that for now. Could go higher, but we got some work to do to get much more than 1500 for now. It's where a lot of confluence kind of comes together. Right at that 500 area. 500 right in there. It was supported before we did the correction, still supported after the correction, and we may top out in that zone. Of course, we could get extra spicy and go up to 800, but we're gonna have some resistance at 500. So GME, that's such a nasty chart. I'm not even paying attention to this one right now. Honestly, that looks like it's gonna break down. That looks like the bubble pattern. We already did the hype died. That was it. Consolidation. Right back down. That's what it looks like to me. You tell me. Anyway. VSET. Ooh. That looks like we're going to go lower. Ugh. We get below that level. Probably going on down. Did not get the bounce. Couldn't hold it. Had opportunity. Just not doing it so far. Not doing it at all. All right. AMC. Yeah, what a nasty. Like, that chart's dead. It just dead. Like, that's not even like a heartbeat and then boo. Just dead. Maybe we get another heartbeat over here, but looks dead. DJT. Oh, look at that. Almost back down to the target. So close. So close. They can go lower. They can go down, back down to $10, $12. Come back down here. right there. So watch out below there. We may come down to here, but there was the target. We kind of scraped the top of it, but I'm not willing to accept that we're done yet. On the downside for DJT AAL, American Airlines is below the roadmap line. There's the resistance and support. Gosh, we're not looking too good. They may go out of business. Goose, you may have to find a new place to work. That doesn't look too good. That didn't look too good. Certainly not SIGA. Man, we're just stuck. Didn't bounce. Last time you said it was low price, but Apollo bought it for $10.50. Yeah. It's still low price. Doesn't always follow the patterns. So, low price stuff under $10 don't always follow patterns. It doesn't mean I don't, trade them. It just means it doesn't always follow patterns. So, low price stuff. It didn't always used to be low price stuff, but currently it is. Apollo runs on the top 400 by options volume. Doesn't mean it always works. That looks like it's going lower. If I was a bettor, I'd bet on it dropping into this zone right there. All right. T on a daily chart. Man, nice move finally. Finally doing something. It looked like it was going to the abyss. It really did. I'm glad it finally broke out. But let's be honest. That's still a pretty nasty chart. I mean, it doesn't really look like it's going to break above that, does it? So we go from 21 to 31. 50% gain, but doesn't really have that upside potential cooking right now. I mean, that chart is going somewhere. Who's SpaceX's partner for terrestrial satellite-based phones? T-Mobile. That's a play on SpaceX right there. They announced it right back here. And it's just rocket ship higher. Rocket ship higher. If you didn't know that, well, welcome to the story. So we got cooking. Craziness. Crazy. Absolute craziness. Crazy chart. Could it go higher? Sure. It's a play on SpaceX rolling out cell phone service. Alrighty. PANW. Still the same target. Nothing changed. There's the target. Down there, support. $400 on the upside for PANW, ABR. Ugh. I don't like the chart. So real estate investment trusts fall in a different category. They do the pattern, but you have to dividend adjust them. And well, breaking above the 1380 area should set it up for 1605. Of course, dividend adjusted, every time it pays a dividend, this will adjust all the back prices. So it's hard to play forward on a chart like that, and get the real target because the target's always changing in the future. So there you go. It's a difficult game to play. MGM. Probably coming down to the target zone right there. 30. ZIM. Back down to the roadmap line. That high, that low. Here's resistance. Get above it, 23. And this may, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That low, that high. If we get below the roadmap line, that may be a support right down in here. So upside 23, downside 10. Not awesome. It's kind of a coin flip a little bit. And HON, Honeywell. Sitting on the roadmap line. Gap fill resistance. Target up here. Downside target. 184. 184 right down in there. That's Honeywell for you. Snow. I don't even look at this chart during the normal week. My one share lonely. One is the loneliest number. I bet we go for the extension. Down to this 100, 104 area. If we get it, I'll probably buy another share. Go to my one share. Hasn't set up a reversal yet. Still got a long way to go to break above the roadmap line. Upside resistance right up there. Support here and may go lower. Come down to the 90s. 89. Wouldn't surprise me. Even down to 60s. Wouldn't surprise me. Maybe like JT, you're going to sit on your one share. All that pullback. Yeah, I'll sit on my one share. I'm going to buy. I'll buy more. And when we finally make a bottom, I'll probably buy even more. TSN. I like the technology. I just not sure about where the bottom is. Tyson, finally trying to reverse. Finally. But this is a big, giant sideways chart for years. Why do you want to bet on this getting out of here? I mean, could it be a head and shoulders? It could. Does it look very likely? You got me. I mean, looks nasty is what it looks like. That could easily go lower. This high, this low, right to the 618. Be careful. Just a little higher. We're gonna have to break above 75 really to see some upside in a big way. That comes from the high right over here and over here. So we rejected that area, rejected that area. One quick little bounce in there. So we're going to have to get through that area to go higher in any kind of bigger way. And then the upside's limited from there. But, I mean, take your pick what you want to play. BT. Stuck. For crypto power plays, you can see that update for more information. We're just sitting on the roadmap line. No indication we're doing anything. If we break out, bigger targets. If we break down, lower targets. There you go. AVA X USD. And we're below the roadmap line. There's supports. If you want to see more, crypto power plays update for the week. Still looks pretty bearish to me. NOW. 942 on the upside. Potential. Watch for the resistance at the 1272. Pretty much there. $874 and then $952 above that. Next level up right like that. And the roadmap line is supports right down there. That's NOW, GAP, Gap stores. The gap. The gap might go fill the gap right there. Yep. Right in there would be my expectation for the gap. BHZ. Beezer Homes, USA. Yeah, nasty chart. Look at that. Nowhere. When you request a chart like this, what tells you this right here? This is the one I want to ask JT what it's about to do. I'm just curious because it's literally done nothing for a year and a half. Watermelon seed squeeze even. I'm just curious, like why that chart? Why do you want to get involved in that? It just looks so nasty. ANET. Probably won't get to your answer for a while. I'm way behind, and there's less than 70 people here, so I'm gonna start going faster. And ANET support here, target up there. That's the long and the short of it. And new core at the resistance support down here. That's the long and the short of it. There's limited upside at this point, possibly 16, but more likely coming back down for the roadmap line. Back down in here. And ECAT. Probably coming back to the roadmap line. And ESG. Gensler giving up on all his ESG stuff, so I'd be careful going after that. But, oh, come on. This has been consolidating so long. This is why I don't get involved in whatever it was. Foot Locker. I've been stuck in this one so long. I'm still long. Still looking for my 81 target. When we eventually get there, I'll do a little dance and then talk about how I didn't buy enough time, because I'll probably not have enough time because of how long this is. Unless it's just absolutely just rockets higher, I'm going to run out of time before we get there. I can already tell. That's why I'm bummed out about it. ALB is still going lower. Could come all the way down to 35. Papa John's. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, it's pizza. Papa. What is... There's no Papa. You looking for pizza? I don't think it's Papa. I don't think that's what you're asking for. Papa John's, maybe? Bearish. Could it bounce? Sure. Might it go down to 30s? Sure. EWW. Probably going lower. Looks pretty bad. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, green at every earnings. PARA. That still looks bearish to me too. $8. And DLTR. Target still 51. Nothing changed. NVDA. Watch out on the downside. We turn down at resistance. Turning up at holding support right now. If we can break above that resistance, 150, 158. If we break down below it, down here. That's no high probability anything for me right there on NVIDIA. SPY sitting right at the support. Turn up 574. We already talked about ES, which is SPY. XOM sitting. Man, that looks like it's going to turn down. I still have it dividend adjusted. Missed the target. Retracing. Still has upside target, but this may end up going down. That little extension can actually result in a bigger retrace and still be part of the corrective action. So I'd watch for it to hold support and break higher, but be prepared. Know when you're wrong. Not great sitting on the roadmap line like that. ORCO. Oh, right up to the target. Look at that. We talked about that this morning. I do expect a retrace after this. At least a consolidation and probably a retrace. I mean, look, every time we pop, we come back. Pop, consolidate, come back. Pop, consolidate, come back. Roadmap line maybe up here somewhere, but we'll probably come back to it. Maybe up here. Somewhere up here, but we'll probably come back. I wouldn't expect much more upside on Oracle. I talked about it quite a bit this morning. CME stuck at a resistance. We can break through, possibly 273. You can see, well, we're at that 618. Stopped, stopped, stopped. If we can break through, 273 will be the upside target. Oh, CME. MU. Back to the bottom. False start. Return. Penalty. 5 yards. Back down to 77 maybe. Break above that. Could go cruising up here to 240. And roll down. Roll out. SQ. There's the support. And doesn't look good. If we break down below that support, 35, 31. Yeah, Square doesn't look too great. VRT hasn't for a long time. VRT sitting on the roadmap line. If we break above this resistance right up here, 95, 118, 122, or 127, excuse me. It looks like it might get a bigger, deeper retrace, so be careful. Cautious. Dill, sit at the roadmap line, may get a deeper retrace back down to 64. And already did BRKB, WMB, and we're stuck at the top. Yeah, I don't really have much to offer on this. Right at the resistance, right there. That's it. Probably get a retrace because that's played out. Could go to 55, but I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it right now. That's kind of played out right now. Possible to go up here, but looks played out. If you're long, I protect it. Already did GDDY, go daddy. Absolute nuts. Absolute nuts. That's gonna retrace. That's wow. Interesting. Somehow they're making tons more money. I wonder where they're pulling all the money out of net income. Got a lot of debt. Compared to the cash flow. One little house of cards can take that sucker down. Interesting. It consolidated for a long time, so watch out. That we may be done for now. Like that could come on up to 214, but it's kind of beyond any reasonable move from where we've been. Yep. That's, I mean, not much to say there. Like, it's going to retrace. Whether it does it from up here at 220 or we do it now, come back down, kind of retest this 100 area. And it's like $50 risk up and down, I guess you might say. CVX. When they don't do patterns, it's very, very difficult to see anything. CVX looks like we're going to touch on down to 132 area. Right there. Goose can retire. Yeah, come work with me. If it goes out of business, I'm not sure his retirement's going to work. AIC? Is that the right? I don't think AIC was right. FTNT, a nasty chart. FTNT just sideways for has a potential to break and go and rally right up here to 120, but it's a gnarly chart. But it might do it. 120 on the upside. It also could turn down at 80 and go lower low. It's the scary thing on that one. DDOG. Ooh, turned down off the roadmap line. Turned down for what? Should go a little deeper. 89 down the bottom of the support. And AIG, that's what you meant. That's still nothing. AIG. Fired off an entry right there. Now, via the daily chart, there's the entry. There's the target 82. Stop down here and below low. And it's just sitting. And this could take months. Nice slow pattern. We'll see. See what happens. That was the entry, and 82 is the target. There's no update. So it's just you just wait for it. Right? The target's up here and the stop's down here. You just wait. There's no update to it. There's not going to be any update in between. TXN, target, retrace, back to the stop. Cassava Sciences. Man, I wish this would do something. I've been sitting on shares forever. Has a potential measured bounce. That target way up here. Ridiculous target. And BHC. I asked for BHC because it was on the daily chart setups. I have two of them. Yeah. Be careful on that. So the bigger pattern, it's just nasty, but the daily chart setup, I'm sure right here. That high, that low. Broke above. Target's 36, but it's going to have to break out of the downtrend to do it. Just be careful. Be careful, UPS. Sometimes it's wise to look at the bigger chart. UPS may break down and go lower. Could hold that. Oh my goodness. So it could hold. Look at that. Move up, retrace, hold the 618, go higher. Could, maybe, possibly. Very simply. That move up, that retrace, hold. Sets the potential for 500. It's going to have to break the roadmap line first to do that. If we get below that, 786 right there, probably going down to 80, 75, 70 maybe. Large upside potential. Got to break the roadmap line to do that. All right, FHI. Whew. That's another watermelon seed squeeze situation. Careful, that can break down and go lower. And cost. Costco eventually got a roll. Hadn't touched the roadmap line in a long time. Of course, it did spend a long time at a watermelon seed squeeze. And then popped. Could pop more. Popped up past the target. Which was right there. I expect we're eventually going to do a retrace. I mean, we are eventually going to do a retrace to this roadmap line. Just how long can we extend it? It has been since May of 23. Got close over here. Didn't do it. 4-hour roadmap bounce. Take us on. I mean, we've already hit the target on that one, so already played that one out. Already played out right there. Maybe in for a deeper retrace. I would be careful on Costco. VZ Verizon. Yeah, choppiness. Looks like it's lagging AT&T and T-Mobile. Has resistance right up here. Yeah. It can drift on up there. I mean, it's going to do it. It'll grind like this. This stuff right here, it'll keep doing that right up in here. Or it can flush down here, find support and pop. Or if it breaks down below here, it can go down here. That's kind of the 3 basic pathways potentials we have lined up on VZ right now. Mr. Creel, MA. All right, we're down to 59. I'm going to wrap it up. MA right there. TRV. Right to the target. And RICE. There's the upside. Support down here. So upside 530, downside 416. RATL. Ooh. Lever stuff doesn't always follow pattern. Be careful on that. And when is your time on the Zoom webinar this week? They haven't posted a schedule. Yeah, I said in it was in Discord. I posted when I was going live in Discord. They do have the schedule. They did. It is posted on the website. I'm at 3 p.m. on the 12th. There. Right, the multi-speaker event. I'm gonna have to post it in multiple pieces, it looks like. So if you want to, me and a bunch of my friends are doing an Elliott Wave thing. Started today, goes tomorrow, goes to the 12th. All day tomorrow, all day the 12th. See if I can post it in the chat. 3-day event. And there's as much as I can post at once. There you go. And copy this part. And there you go. And if you want the link, right there. I think I cut off the link. Yeah, I did. Well, that's cool. Cut off the link. That was stupid. Try it one more time. Here's the link. Right there. If you're not registered. There we go. So if you want to come hang out with me and 29 of my friends are doing Fib and Elliott Wave stuff right there in that multi-speaker event. I guess it's going on right now. Be going on tomorrow. And then my spot is at 3 p.m. on Thursday, 12 Pacific. I'll be live. But I'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15 in the morning. Come hang out. As always, I wrap this up after we drop below 70 people. So Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel in the morning. We'll go through it again and see what we got right there. Have a great day. Hopefully, come see me in the morning. We'll check out what's moving. Let's see what the CPI is and go through it and what's popping, what's dropping, as we always do. Have a great day, everybody. See you in the morning.